We're here with Mary Zimmer, currently singing for Helion Prime on their tour.
Hello.
And you were asked to join Helion Prime at one point.
Yes, did Jason tell you that?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I was supposed to say that. Yes, I was. Before they got Sozos, the really excellent vocalist that they have now. But I decided not to do it because I didn't want to be disingenuous. A lot of people know that I scream quite a bit. So the band has no screaming, and Jason is the composer, and that's sort of like his style. And one thing I didn't want to do was kind of misrepresent myself. I think the worst thing you can do in music is say you can do shit that you can't do.
Right.
So, and also too, I honestly wasn't sure about the key and the tuning and the power metal. I know I hit a lot of high notes tonight, but realistically, I'm really a tenor, I'm a contralto. So I wasn't actually sure, honestly, if it would fit that well, or if I was the right instrument. I try to be careful and go with the right fit, but filling in has been cool because Sozos is a tenor, so a lot of his stuff I'm very comfortable with. So, yeah.
So,
how do you train your voice for something like this, going from screaming to completely singing?
It was really hard. I tell everybody it was like training for the Olympics, especially because again I've got just such a low voice. I do have a 3.5 octave range, but it starts at G2, so it's very, very low. And this set spans from C3 to G sharp 5, and so that's about 2.5 octaves. That's almost the full range. It's pretty wide. So I had to practice for a couple of months, pretty much as soon as I found out, and then get together with the band and rehearse a little bit. But yeah, a lot of practice, and I would say probably my years of experience had to do a lot with it, or I wouldn't have been able to do it.
So you started with Luna Mortis.
Mm-hmm.
Was that your first band? Or the first signed band?
This is the first signed band for sure. Yeah, and before we got signed, we were the same band, but we were called the Ottoman Empire. So we changed our name when we got signed. So we actually had a few independent releases out. Even the Prime guys were making me listen to them in the car the other day because they're still on Spotify. So, and you just go because you always get better, So we were just
ideally
kids, So.
And then you did White Empress.
Yes, that's correct.
And that was a much different style of music.
Yeah, that was definitely more extreme, but the main, that was almost black metal, if you will. Not exactly. It was very symphonic. And that was
Cradle of Filth.
Yeah, because the main writer on Cradle of Filth for 20 years. Paul Allender. So he wrote all the instrumentals for Cradle and for White Empress. And so for that, there was a lot of screaming, and there was a lot of high vocals, but it was a totally different style than this. It was opera style because it was more like Dimmu or Cradle or something like that, So even though it went pretty high, it was a whole different ballgame than the power metal. So it was still completely different. So.
And what happened to White Empress?
We broke up. There was just personal disagreements among the band, and they couldn't be resolved ultimately. It was kind of unfortunate, but I wish they could have been, because some of those people were just the greatest people, So we had a killer lineup, but sometimes people's personalities, you can't change them. You can't do anything about it, and if it's not contributing to a working atmosphere, the whole thing will fall apart. And it's very unfortunate, and it happens in a lot of bands, So I wish all those guys the best. They're all doing pretty well, so.
And you're doing what now? Besides this Helion Prime tour?
Yeah, this Helion Prime tour, which is amazing. And my studio project is called Santa Marta. Sometimes we tour, but it's more of a studio project, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's primarily you doing everything?
Actually, no. The guitarist Eric Tyler for that one, he pretty much writes everything.
Oh, okay.
And I just do the vocals. So once again, I can't play anything else. So
Gotcha.
I know my theory and everything from school, but I don't play really well on any other instruments, unfortunately. You can only be good at one thing. So.
Do you have an album out for that?
Yeah, there's an EP called Santa Marta 1, the singles. And that's definitely on Spotify and all that. But you have better luck finding it if you Google Santa Marta the band, because otherwise you get Santa Marta, Colombia, which is a city.
Is there a Bandcamp page or something?
Yeah, there's a Bandcamp. There's everything like normal, like the side band, Spotify. You can find it on Bandcamp.
And you're also doing some vocal stuff, like
Oh yeah. A lot of people actually know me from being a voice teacher, and so I have a YouTube channel called Voice Hacks by Mary Z, and that's pretty popular. And a lot of my students have come out to the shows, and a few people have been like coming up to me at shows like, I follow your YouTube channel, you know. And I'm like, oh, I'll be. And even I have been interviewing other singers since I've been out, like you
Nice.
guys, you know. So yeah.
Weirdest tour story? Any of the bands you've been with?
I don't know. I'm trying to think.
It's always a hard one for people. Either that or they have 6 of them right off the top.
Poor Jeremy on this tour. One of the earliest days we didn't know that the trailer came open, and his fucking suitcase fell out the trailer.
Oh.
So on like the second day of the tour, Jeremy lost his clothes and anything else, and we didn't lose any gear, fortunately, but we lost like the coffee pot and some other things, you know. So that's been pretty crazy, and we didn't even know it was open. This guy stopped us as we were leaving a gas station. It was about to be open again, you know, and he was like, "Hey, your trailer's open." And yeah, so we've called this the Jeremy What's Left of My Clothes Tour 2018. We all had to get him some clothes.
So how far are you guys into the tour right now?
Pretty far. About like, we're like 4 weeks into it. So I mean, we only have like another week and a half worth of shows.
Canadian dates, right?
Yeah, the Canadian dates, which Prime is not on actually, so.
Oh.
But we'll be back for the rest of the states.
How many more shows do you have?
Probably about 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So do you just drive across to where you're not
we'll just
going
meet
into
up.
Canada?
We're not going into Canada, no.
Oh, okay.
We'll meet up with them back in the States when the route's back through.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Best experience playing live?
Probably WJJO Band Camp back in Wisconsin, which is like a huge festival of like 12,000 people, you know. That was pretty amazing. So that would probably rank up there. I think I played right before Zach Wilde or something.
Wow.
So
which band?
That was definitely Luna Mortis.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was back in Madison, kind of where we were from, and we got to play the big main stage, like the big
So
festival.
Luna Mortis has got to be, what, at least the Century Media album's got to be close to 10 years by now.
Yes, it is. I know. I can't believe it. Time flies, and I'm still here.
Good. Where can people follow you online? Where's the best place?
Voice Hacks by Mary Z on YouTube, and then Instagram Metal Mary Z.
Okay. And would you say after all this time it was worth doing this stuff?
Absolutely, of course. It's always worth it. Now, this has been a wonderful opportunity that the Helion Prime guys gave me, so I can't thank them enough for having me out here and bringing me out on the road. It's just been awesome, and it's, you know, you always get better no matter how long you work on something, and so that I'm getting better. It's good practice. So, and it's been a privilege to be with all these phenomenal musicians. Striker and archers will make you want to practice instruments, you know, even harder because they're so good. So it's good. It makes you level up a lot, I think. So.
Nice. All right. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.